welcome back to the Spoilercast, the show where we talk about movies and we don't care about spoiling them, especially not today. My name is Tobias, and with me, as always, is my sister and trusted co-host, Rebecca.
Hello!
Hello. And, I know you like the show, that's why you're watching this. You didn't just click this because you care about Roadhouse, you care about the show. You're not here for the movie, you're here for the personalities. So, if you want more of our personalities, you should check us out on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. We have literally hundreds of hours of exclusive material. And our companion piece to this, like we do every week, is of course going to be the original Roadhouse.
Yes.
You don't want to miss that one. I'm even gonna, you don't have to, Rebecca, but I am even gonna watch Roadhouse 2, Last Call.
I might, if I feel
because
like I
there
have the time
exists
for it.
a sequel to the original. Did you know that? More
No,
about on
not
patreon.com/don'tmakeascene.
No one knew that until you told us.
Exactly. Nobody knew the movie existed. But right now, we're going to talk about the 2024, at least here in Sweden, Amazon Prime released Roadhouse Remake.
No, I think it is. It's a Prime project. I was about to call it. That's not what it's called. Prime production.
There was a Paramount logo in the beginning, which I thought was very funny because Paramount Plus is a thing, even here in Sweden. So why didn't they release the movie? I don't know.
It's the poster's got Prime on it, so
that's true. Starring, of course, Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor, introducing his first movie role, and probably his last. We'll get into that.
Unless he's playing himself,
Yeah, of course. It's basically the same story.
I haven't seen the original, so I didn't know that, but I assumed.
Yeah, here it is. Ex-UFC fighter Dalton, Elwood Dalton in this case, signs up as a bouncer basically at a roadhouse called the Roadhouse, in Florida to take care of some of the rowdier customers. And gets
only to discover that this paradise is not all it seems.
Exactly. He gets
such a nice little text.
Yeah, he gets embroiled.
So short and concise, and it's so mysterious and open at the same time.
Yeah, he gets embroiled in local landowning disputes, basically.
Basically, yeah.
That's the more boring version of the text.
Actually, I didn't look. What did they say on Letterboxd? Because that was the IMDb one. Maybe they didn't change it much.
I don't know.
No, it's literally the same words.
Oh, okay.
For once.
Yeah. So, this is going to be interesting, because you haven't seen the original.
No.
You were aware of it, but I mean, you didn't really know anything about it.
I'd heard Roadhouse.
Okay.
That's about it.
Which is kind of funny, because I don't even think they say Roadhouse in the movie. They say, like...
In this one, they do.
This one, of course, because it's the name of the place.
Yeah. Nah, I think it's just like a meme of someone saying Roadhouse as in, like, referencing the movie.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's from the movie.
No. And I have seen the original, although I actually haven't seen the whole movie until a few weeks ago. Oh. It was one of those I'd seen clips, and it was like, whatever. But then when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh shit, I actually haven't seen the original. And then I did.
Before you knew this one was coming out, or because this?
No, I saw the trailer and I thought, oh shit, I should have watched the original years ago, and then I did. We'll censor that.
Thank you.
But so we are in an interesting.
Suit himself.
And
he's not reacting. I don't care.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. We see a lot of Jake Gyllenhaal in this movie anyway, so.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a unique perspective. We have someone who hasn't seen the original and have one who's seen the original. So, we'll see if our opinions differ anyhow. So I'll start by asking you, what did you think of Roadhouse?
Oh, I thought it was a fantastic little simple action movie, perfect for Friday night watching. I had like 2 major issues with it, and one of them was special effects on the bridge when the truck comes. This isn't spoiling anything, it's just one specific scene. Yeah. That just looked silly as fuck. Yes, there has been, I'm not going to say it's gone like viral, but there has been like a minor discussion about the use of CGI in the fight scenes. Yeah, the fight scenes I couldn't really care.
Yeah, but
that was
action
fine.
Scenes, that includes
but that specific scene just looked. You know what it reminded me of?
No.
It reminded me of the what's the show called? The Amazon Prime Lord of the Rings TV show.
Oh, Rings of Power.
Yeah, Rings of Power. Because it had the same silly, flowy movements that some of them had.
I don't know. I only saw like 2 episodes of that, so I don't know.
And also there was some... Well, I don't remember it really now, so it didn't bother me that much, obviously. I think it was some camera work at one point. It just looked weird. And I just went,
we'll talk about the camera work. Yeah, we'll get to that.
But like, for the most part,
yeah.
I enjoyed it. I was engaged, even though I was working. I was... the storyline was simple, classic, kind of like they hinted at in the beginning. It's the reluctant hero comes to town and cleans up the roughhousing random dudes, and then, he either leaves or he settles down, kind of thing. Jake Gyllenhaal wasn't bad to look at, for the most part.
He never is.
Even though he's a little bit... I've never noticed that. Is his jaw always crooked? Or is that a new thing?
That I don't know.
Because he looked very crooked in his jaw. Kind of like, there's one other actor that's always been crooked. I want to call him Milo,
Sylvester
but I don't
Stallone? Remember. Yeah, Milo Ventimiglia, yeah.
Yes, Heroes.
But he has he has the same, like, he has like it's a palsy thing in his face.
Yeah.
Same as Sylvester Stallone, that's why he played his son in the 2006 Rocky movie.
Here it just looks like Jake Gyllenhaal's been punched in the face too many times. Which might be the thing. I don't know. No, but overall, I enjoyed it. It's not like a fantastic film and super deep and whatever. No, it's just a nice little action film to watch on a Friday night.
It's nice entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing deep, nothing special.
Yeah.
Great music, especially the live bands whenever they were playing. Fucking loved that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I want to call it's almost cozy, but that's not the right word.
No, it's not cozy. It is
here
what I
mean.
There, but yeah. You know a movie?
You know what I mean?
What this kind of reminded me of? A movie that is cozy, I would say. Too Fast, Too Furious, which of course also takes place in Florida.
The Florida vibes.
And I mean, there's a houseboat and everything.
Yeah.
Although that movie is very, very, very colorful because it's made in the early 2000s. But other than that, it's very...
It's also a little bit less violent than this one, I guess.
Yeah.
This one was very violent at times.
Yes.
To the point where I almost went, this is a bit excessive.
Yeah.
But no, overall, I liked it. It was very nice. Simple and nice. Nothing special, nothing bad about it, really. If you overlook some of the technical flaws, which, whatever. But yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of it?
I thought I had my phone. I had this whole long review I'd written up, not long, but like not just like a joke review like you do most of the time nowadays. I'd actually written down something, and then I didn't finish it, so I was like, I'll finish it later. Then I just removed it, so I don't have my review now.
You wrote it on Letterboxd and you accidentally closed it down or something.
Yeah. No, I didn't even close it down. Well, either way.
Okay, fine.
I give it 2.5 stars. It's right down the middle for me. It's not bad. It's not good. It's whatever.
Oh yeah, I haven't rated it yet.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
As its own thing, as a Roadhouse remake. No, it doesn't even come close to the original. However, the original, of course, has the advantage of having existed for 35 years this year, and have managed to build a cult following, and you have, like, at this point, you have the classic moments in the movie, which, of course, wasn't there originally. I mean, originally, it was kind of, not like, critically, like, it wasn't hated, but it got like lukewarm reviews, kind of like this one is getting. It was actually nominated for like 5 Golden Raspberries back in the day.
Whoa.
Like, it wasn't like this instant classic. It has kind of become a classic because, like with most cult classic, people have kind of taken the flaws and the awkward things in the movie and taken it to heart and made it like, oh, that's what we like about it. Now, it's not on the same level like something like Troll 2 or The Room. But there is a sense of that kind of cult classic feeling to it.
Okay.
Things that decades later you can go like, like that's why I like it. Like, well, you'll see when you see it. I don't want to hype it up too much though.
No, exactly. Hey, I might dislike it because I saw this one first.
Who knows? Yeah.
I might be the opposite.
Yeah.
Because it might just be that the original came first,
Yeah. There is definitely a little bit of that. But like, yeah, as its own movie, it was good. Yeah, there's nothing special going on here.
No.
And honestly, I have more to complain about than like this, because there's nothing that I particularly love about the movie. It's just
the vibes.
The vibe, yeah.
But I think that had to do with like I'm waiting impatiently for summer now.
Yeah.
Spring here has been gray as fuck.
Oh.
And summer in Florida just looks amazing.
Yeah.
With all the warm weather and the flowy shirts and it just looks so nice.
Yeah.
I want summer now, so that helped.
That helped, definitely.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Some of the random actors that just had smaller roles for some reason kept going like, oh, I know your face. No, I know your face.
Yeah, you recognize some people, yeah.
So many of them, which, first of all, the first person you fucking see is Post Malone.
Yeah, or Austin Post.
I was like, hold up. Is that Post Malone?
Yeah. Which was so...
It is.
It was. And I guess that's because his song is in the movie. So the classic 90s thing is like, oh, you put the artist in the movie then as a cameo.
Yeah.
He got a pretty, violent cameo, but still.
He didn't mind it, probably.
No, he didn't, right? Yeah, I mean, I know he kind of, he has aspirations to be an actor. He's been in other stuff.
Yeah,
I know he liked that kind of stuff, but it was kind of funny. Like he's not in shape, but he's not like fat or whatever. But the way he wore his pants, they were kind of pulled up just over his little paunch. Made him look like an old man, like he was looking, I don't know, except for the blood, of course, over his knuckles everywhere. But it was just something about his look when he was standing there in the ring with the pants on, with the jeans pulled up just a little too high. I don't know.
But that was just because he didn't want him to fall down when he was punching.
I know.
You know,
that was security. I could think of. At first, I
didn't even react to that. From being honest,
is that Post Malone? Oh, it is.
Yeah, I just kept looking at the face, like, is that Post Malone? It is.
Yeah.
Did he look like that when we saw him in concert? I feel like he put on weight for this.
Probably had, a little bit of weight. Yeah, he was super skinny when we saw him. That was last summer?
Something like that, yeah.
He was super skinny, yeah.
So he must have put on a bit of weight for this.
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to look a little heavy, like he can throw a punch.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't be skinny for that. But then also, it's a bit weird to have then Jake Gyllenhaal walk in and look like he hasn't had liquids or flour in like years.
Yeah. Yeah, while the two other guys
just
fighting
dehydrated,
like real people. He didn't look dehydrated.
You see like the fibers in the muscles in certain spots.
Yeah, I guess.
That's a bit creepy to me.
I'm sure he ate a lot of chicken and rice and didn't take any supplements at all.
No, not at all. No. How old is he, by the way?
Oh, anyway.
He's born in 1980.
Yeah.
Hey, the day after you, so to speak.
Nice.
December 19th.
Anyway, yeah. I got lost in. Oh, we're kin then, I suppose.
I thought you were gonna say you got lost in his abs or something. Sure.
No. This is not my dream Gyllenhaal. I think that is
Brokeback Mountain.
Yes. Oh, that mustache. Yeah, Brokeback Mountain, or in a weird way because he's kind of not nice, but I like him in that movie. Prisoners, when he plays the cop.
Oh yeah.
Detective Loki. He's very, very intense, which I like. Anyway,
yeah.
Yeah.
He did nothing wrong, by the way.
No, he was good. This was obviously
Jake Gyllenhaal was good.
Like he's one of those actors. He always takes his job very seriously.
Yes.
Of course, there's different. You can see Here he puts in 90%, and in another movie he might put in 110%. But he always takes it. It's never like, I just did this for the paycheck. At least it doesn't feel like that. Maybe he did sometime, but, but this one felt like, it wasn't like it wasn't like character acting here. He didn't like get into the role. I mean, obviously he got into the role to some extent, but you know what I mean. This wasn't Nightcrawler.
This was also a very, very subdued character compared to a lot of the ones we've seen him in.
That's true.
Because, except for the fact that we get a little bit of a like, oh, when I get mad kind of thing towards the end. He's very laid back, trying to keep calm most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, the first night at the job, this isn't really... I mean, we're spoiling things, but we're not spoilers,
Doesn't matter. It's a remake. It's basically the same plot with some small differences.
But the first night, as the bouncer at the Roadhouse, instead of like actually taking care of the first person that starts a fight, he makes... What was the kid's name? Billy?
That guy. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Billy, played by Lucas Gage. He's like showing him how to do it instead.
Yeah.
So for the first clips, we don't even see him take care of the rowdy customers. He makes Billy and the other kid do it.
Yeah.
It's like, so you're not even gonna actually do your job, but you're gonna get paid for it.
Well, that's kind of the thing in the original. He gets hired to, clean up the place, basically.
Yeah.
And he says like, okay, and he says, I want 5,000 a week or whatever it is. And here's 5,000 a day. And she wants him to stay for a week. What about after that? Either way, doesn't matter. So there it is more that he's there to kind of whip up the staff, whip them into shape. I mean, he of course takes care of business as well. But the point is that when he leaves, they will be able to take care of it as good as he can.
Okay, yeah.
So I think that's kind of the idea here as well. They don't say it as well.
Yeah.
No. And honestly, I don't really have much else to say about the movie. Like, in general, it's if you like kind of a
it's fine.
It's fine. If you like a kind of laid back vibe. With some sometimes almost too violent action or fighting.
Yeah.
That's though kind of a thing in the original as well. That the violence sometimes towards the end gets too violent, which is kind of a point. Here too, But yeah, some good fighting. Nice performance by Jake Gyllenhaal, but he's basically the only one giving good performance.
Yeah.
Check it out if you have Prime.
Yeah.
It's free there, so check it out. Don't pay for this though. It's not that good.
You don't need to pay for it.
No.
And maybe don't watch it with the kids because it's a bit violent.
It's a bit violent, yeah. Especially towards the last half hour.
I mean, if we think it's violent, it's kind of violent.
I mean, I didn't mind the violence. I'm just thinking how other people see it. Like, it gets very violent in the last half hour.
There was one point where he's like, towards the end, when he's kind of given up and he breaks the guy's nose on the stairs. I was like, that looked a bit terrible, especially since they both like flew in the air before that. Yeah. Calm down.
So that's my general like what I think of the movie. Now we'll get into some more spoilers. So if you don't want to hear it, spoilers. But also I want to discuss the big problems with this movie that drags it down for me. So,
sure.
Spoilers from now, I suppose.
Yes.
First big thing, the biggest thing is the sometimes awful cinematography, the camera work.
Yeah.
Especially in... Oh, I have a sneeze coming. Jesus. Damn it. Oh, and it's stuck in my nose.
Look into the light.
All right, whatever. It'll come back.
Camera work.
Especially in the fight scenes, they use I don't know exactly what it's called, I'm not that technical, but they use a wide-angle lens.
Yeah. Which
gives you this weird kind of... And I think that's what you notice sometimes in the fight scenes, so it looked kind of weird. It's that the people are fighting in the middle, and then there's a lot of like screen space on the side of them, which kind of towards the edges gets distorted. Yes, that's the wide angle lens, which is almost like a fisheye, but only in the not in the this end, not in the x-axis, only y-axis, or and it
or whatever.
It always looks weird, and to utilize that, they did a lot of like panning back and forth in the fight scenes, which just made it look like it was close to like nausea-inducing. Like it looked awful. And then they would cut back to a regular 35mm lens in their other scenes, except for sometimes when they used the wide-angle lens again. It was like, it looked awful.
It kind of looked like they just like handed the camera to a teenager to film the fight scenes or something.
Yeah.
Because it felt very unprofessional.
But then the problem is also that they had a wide-angle lens, but they kept, like 80% of the action was in the middle.
Yeah.
So what was the point of having the wide angle?
Is it to make us focus? I don't know. It felt weird.
It was
just
weird.
Felt weird. I didn't really like that.
No.
For the most part, I didn't notice it. But then when the fight scenes were longer, towards the end specifically, I just went, ugh, this looks... It's like... Sometimes it felt like the camera was too close as well.
Yeah.
Like they were trying to like make you feel like you were in the fight or something.
I mean, literally, they had like POV shots like a couple of times.
That
which was
too.
Very like, confusing. Like out of nowhere, it all of a sudden turned into a video game where you get beat up by Conor McGregor.
That also made it feel a little bit cheap.
Yeah.
Or like, like a teenager was in charge.
Yeah. That sucks. Because you can use wide angle lenses in action scenes.
Sure.
Believe it or not, James Wan is a master at that.
But he knows how to use it.
Yes, he uses wide-angle lenses in horror movies as well. But that's because he has a lot... Instead of keeping everything focused in the middle, he has things going from left to right when he films. So the wide angle makes sense. And then you have like some of the action scenes towards the end of his like remake or whatever adaptation of Death Sentence. You know, one with Kevin Bacon trying to avenge his family. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
From like 10, 15 years ago.
Vaguely remember it.
Yeah,
but
that one has a lot of wide angle, like all the action, or most of the action is in wide angle shots. But they don't even have like, they're like firing at each other from, in a staircase. So the camera's on the side, but you can see the whole staircase and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He utilizes it very well. Do you remember the opening action scene in Aquaman, the first Aquaman, where when
in the submarine?
No, not the submarine. When they're telling the story of how Aquaman came to be.
Oh,
and you have Nicole Kidman in the lighthouse with Tamara Morrison. And she fights the Atlantis soldiers comes in and she starts fighting them off and they're like just blowing up the whole place. Do you remember how that also has that weird distorted angle and it goes from one side of the room to the other and she's like flipping over them and things exploding in the background?
Right.
All of that utilizes the wide angle very, very well.
Exactly, yeah.
Here it's just like...
Because you put a focus on everything and use...
Yes, exactly. This didn't do that. It was just like two guys fighting in the middle. And then it just makes you puke on the sides. I hated it. That might ruined have been a lot of the action for me.
Yeah, but that might have been intentional, though. Because it's supposed to feel like you're in the game or in the fight or whatever. But it didn't work.
No, that's too... Like, I appreciate them experimenting like that. It doesn't work in a Roadhouse remake.
No.
Put that in your, like, weird action drama instead. Not here.
Yeah.
We just want to watch two guys fight. There's a time and place for experimentation. This ain't it, Chief.
Speaking about the fights.
Yes.
Or specifically, Conor McGregor fighting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like you said, this is his first acting gig, as far as I know, or we know.
It is. It said introducing, so this is his official first acting
that's true,
gig.
That's true, yeah, his first official. First off, that dude needs to like pull his shoulders back.
Yeah, slow to this, and always that smile.
The first scene,
and his
I
little
didn't hear his accent, which was weird.
You can't hear what he's saying. He's so Irish, he's barely speaking English.
No, but the first scene, and when he's talking on the phone in Italy.
Yeah.
Italy. I didn't hear the accent. I was like, oh, is he doing an American accent? No. As soon as he landed on American soil, it went very Irish.
Very Irish.
And it was almost unbearable.
Yeah. And also he had one mode. It was I'm smiling, I'm crazy.
Yeah. Which I guess was
he's
the
not
point,
an actor, so I'm not gonna ask him to do like great, but he
had a lot of screen time though for someone who was literally doing one thing.
Yeah.
And it annoyed me a little bit.
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
Yeah. And also the fact that we had like 3 main bad guys because of him, because he was one of them. Then we also had like, the actual bad guy, Ben Brandt.
Yeah.
Played by Billy Magnussen, which is that the dude from the zombie movie?
Zombie movie? He's not a Spectre.
No, I think I'm confused.
He's like a minor bad guy in the last Bond movie. He plays one of the friends in what's it called? Game Night or whatever it is, the movie with the friends who play games.
Yeah, no, I'm confusing it with someone.
Oh, okay.
Remember that zombie movie where they went to Vegas to get the cash out of the casino that we hated?
Oh, Army of the Dead.
It was him.
Yeah. No, I don't think he's in that one.
No, it doesn't seem like it. But I thought it was him. The little tech guy or whatever the fuck he was.
The German guy?
Matthias, right, yeah, German, yeah.
Schweighofer, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I thought it was him.
No.
Oh my god, he's Prince Anders in the Aladdin remake. Or the live-action Aladdin.
Okay,
that's where I recognize him.
I haven't seen that one, I don't know.
He's the best character in that entire movie, by the way. If you want to watch that movie, you should watch it just to see his scenes, basically.
Okay.
Everything else you can kind of skip.
I think I'll skip.
But yeah, he was like the main bad guy, because Daddy Brandt was in prison.
Yeah.
But then we also had biker gang leader Del.
But he was like a
X.
He was like a he was just like a he was a right hand man. Like he was a goon.
Sure. But he was very front and center for a while. He even had like the coolest on-screen death or off-screen or
on-screen.
Count that as on-screen, yeah.
Yeah.
In the entire movie.
Yeah.
It just confused me. It didn't confuse me. It was annoying that we had like so many bad guys, basically.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Just like
to introduce him as like
rotation.
You think he was going to be the main sidekick bad guy, but then he dies halfway through the movie, and in comes Conor McGregor, not Ewan McGregor. That would have been exciting.
And we have a bunch of like side bad guys who are getting names and personalities. Like obviously, it's interesting when side characters have names and personalities.
Yeah.
But usually they're on the good side.
Yeah.
So we care about them. Like Charlie and her dad, and Frankie and her little crew of bar people.
Yeah.
Not the bad guys. Mo and Vince and Sam. Like,
I think
why?
that's why that is confusing. I think it's kind of a remnant of the original, where some of the people working at the bar turns out to be connected to the bad guy. And there's a connection there. That's why they have more of a role. And some of the bad guys kind of they kind of switch sides. There's more interaction with all the characters in the original. Something I think they had here, but then maybe it got cut out or something.
Because like the entire character, even though I fucking loved Mo, he was so unnecessary.
Who's Mo?
The guy who breaks the arm and he walks around in cast and is like kind of confused and cute somehow.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. What was the point of that? I don't know.
What was the point of him? This is a 2-hour long movie. Cut out those few scenes of him and shorten it by a few minutes.
Yeah, this should have definitely been a shorter movie.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I think we even had like the same reaction from characters regarding the bad guy's lair being a mess like twice.
Yeah.
Like, this is strange. Why are you repeating this specific thing?
I get the feeling, and it's kind of weird because the guy directed is Doug Liman. He's like a good director. He's done both bad and good directing jobs. But this one just felt like
he did Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. And didn't he do? Oh no, that's another. I was thinking of another guy. Sorry, I was gonna say he wrote. He wrote Nightcrawler, but that's another guy. I'm sorry, I was mixing them up. But anyway, yeah, it felt like they couldn't cut that stuff out because then they had no interactions between characters, and then it would just be him fighting people, which we couldn't have. So we'll keep some of it in, but we gotta cut out the worst part. It felt like a compromise.
A little bit, yeah.
And then speaking of compromises,
yes,
there wasn't a lot of it, but the CGI in the action scenes, what the hell?
Specifically on the bridge, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
When he's trying to run him over.
Why was that?
The way that car moved looked like a cartoon.
Yeah. Why make that elaborate shot where he gets thrown up on the back of the pickup truck? Like, yeah, you're gonna have to CGI that in that angle. So why even film it that way? Just film him getting almost hit by the car and falling into the water.
Exactly. Yeah, you could have just changed it a little bit so he would have jumped into the water to save himself.
Yeah, why make it so dumb elaborate? It doesn't make any sense.
Even like the way his body moved just looked like a CGI flowy doll. Very, very.
Because he was a CGI in that scene. He was in that short little when he gets thrown up on the pickup or the back of the pickup truck. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
There was another point where I reacted to it, but nothing stuck out as much as that scene because that was like a minute of pure CGI looking like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It was awful. And then,
we didn't even get crocodiles in the end of that scene when he got in the water. Yeah. Which, disappointing.
And then there are a few more scenes where they use CGI for like the boat exploding and stuff like that. And it's not like, you can't use CGI. I mean, we love the Fast and Furious movies, and for all the practical effects they use a lot of CGI as well.
A lot of CGI,
especially in the later movies. But there's because
but
not just that. That's because the stunts that they can't do for real are so huge that you can't do it for real. You have to fake it.
Yeah,
that's fine. Here,
most of these you could have done.
You can blow up a boat for real. Yeah. I know it's expensive, but that's movie making, especially on this level. Blow up a real boat. Come on.
Yeah.
Film that scene with him on the bridge just getting hit by the car and use some wire work. You don't have to CGI him falling onto the car. There's this weird, I don't even know if it's CGI, but it stuck out to me. In the end fight, between McGregor and Gyllenhaal, there's a scene where he does like the move where you kind of, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a legit wrestling / UFC move where you get the guy up on your shoulders and then you basically jump, like you jump with head first into the ground to smash his back into the ground, barely clearing your head from hitting. And there's like this one take when he does that towards the camera. And for just a split second, it looks like they are CGI there. Like they didn't actually do that move, which, sure, you don't want to hurt your actors, but get stunt people then to do it. I don't know if that was CGI, but it looked CGI. And I know there were other scenes in the movie, I just can't remember them right now, where the actual fighting is CGI. It's just like, why? In a movie about fighting, shouldn't, and in the post John Wick world we live in, shouldn't your fight scenes be as real as possible? Even if it's like not supposed to be realistic, but they should be real,
Yeah, I'm scrolling through like the trivia to see if they were like, but Jake Gyllenhaal did all his stunts himself.
No, they didn't mention that. They mentioned a little bit about his training. That was it.
Yeah, they did mention that they were planning on making a gender swapped remake instead.
That's something we should talk about as well. Yeah, this has been in the works for 10 years.
Ronda Rousey play the main character then.
Which
Which then I assume they could have had even more practical fighting.
Yeah, to have an actual fighter in your main role. It's not like you need a great actor to portray this character.
No.
There is some depth to the character, but they don't really explore it that much. So
it's classic fighter, being kind of restrained and standing back until you lose your cool and then you fight.
And also, I just want to highlight a movie from 10 years ago, where you have the exact same character. It's a fighter who is holding back a lot of rage because of past life trauma.
Yeah.
Who for a long time avoided fighting until he kind of had to. So he goes into the ring, and there's even a thing where he has to fight his brother, both mentally, spiritually, and physically.
Yeah.
It's called Warrior.
I was about to say that's Warrior,
and you have
right?
Tom Hardy doing all those things, and he does it
yeah.
all for real. And there's a lot of fights in that movie, although they're all in the UFC octagon. Still, he's like in 10 fights in that movie, and there's no CGI. You can do it, and those fights maybe aren't as spectacular because they're not throwing themselves off boats or jumping through fire, but because we care about the character, and because the fights are very well choreographed, either way, they're just as exciting.
They have the emotional impact.
Yeah,
is the same.
Exactly. So, what up, Doug Liman? Why would you fake your fight scenes in a movie about fighting?
The filmmaker sought to innovate how fight scenes are filmed. The team developed a new multi-pass technique to make the brawls look more realistic, marking a departure from traditional fight choreography.
Yeah.
You didn't do it very well then.
Okay, I understand. Once again, I understand experimenting, but okay, now you did that, and you're gonna have to change some of it because sometimes it felt awkward.
Yeah,
especially the switching.
They look at the result and go, "Excuse me." They didn't yawn. They went, "Hey, this looks good." Apparently, they did. I mean, I would have probably gone and maybe we should refilm this.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But then reshoot
looked a bit
fight
strange.
Scenes might be very tough and draining on the actors.
Sure. I don't know.
I thought it was to say, but
it felt like they were trying to do something bigger than what they're actually filming as well. Like it felt like a direct to streaming kind of budget, with again a lot of strangely big names somehow, or names you recognize at least.
Yeah,
because I mean it can't be cheap to have Jake Gyllenhaal, Conor McGregor, and Joaquin de Alma, in like big roles.
Well, Joaquin de Almeida is in like 3 scenes.
Sorry, yeah.
And I don't think I mean, yeah, sure. I love him as an actor. I think he's amazing.
Yeah.
But I think in the Hollywood progression, I don't think he's that expensive.
I feel like he should be. He's been around forever.
He's been around forever, but what has he done lately? Other than small roles in like Fast X.
Oh, hey, he's in Shogun. We were talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love him. I've loved him since I was a
episode,
child. It sounds weird to say. I've loved Joaquin Almeida since I was a child. But he plays the bad guy / the brother of El Mariachi in Desperado.
Oh,
so,
right.
yeah,
Yes,
I love him for that.
exactly.
Yeah. And he has like a cool small voice role in Escape from Butcher Bay, the Riddick game. Chronicles of Riddick game.
Ooh.
Yeah, those are good things. So, yeah, I love him. But I don't think he like gets like $10 million for this movie. He probably works for scale.
No, I guess. Maybe not.
He's a working actor. He's a character actor. I love him, but I don't think he's that expensive. Jake Gyllenhaal, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But that's about it. Conor McGregor, this is his first role. He's probably working for scale as well.
Yeah, maybe.
Or like, you'll get a
Maybe
million.
He's like, yeah, sure, I'll take a fighting role. I don't care. I have the money.
I'll do it. As long as I can beat up that fairy Jake Gyllenhaal. Come on, boy.
Terrible imitation. Yeah.
Sure.
Trying to see, because I kind of recognized
I recognize a lot of people in like smaller roles.
Ella, or whatever the love interest's name was. Ellie.
She was in, I saw she's in Fast X. She has some small role in Fast X. Something Melchior.
Isabel. Is she the girl from the Dominican Republic that knows Dom in Fast X?
She might be. I kind of forgot that movie, to be honest. It didn't stay with me, to be honest.
She's Ratcatcher 2 in Suicide Squad. What's...
Ratcatcher 2?
Yeah. There's 2 of them?
I barely remember the first one. That's the girl with all the rats. Yeah, there's 2 of them? I don't know. All right.
Sure. Whatever.
So I've seen her stuff, but I can't really place her. To be like,
no, me neither.
No offense.
She did. Everyone did a fine job. No one was spectacular. No one was spectacularly bad.
No, except
for I guess Conor McGregor. He did his best. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's not a fantastic film. It's not deep or meaningful in any way or form. It's just a quote-unquote cozy Friday night movie to watch with the family if everyone's adults.
yeah, exactly.
Because the action, like the action outside of the fight scenes is fine.
No.
The explosion wasn't like devastating or scary. The crashing with the boat into the bar and the cars and all that stuff wasn't super scary or big, really. I mean, it was one of those where I don't remember there's a YouTube channel that like go through movies and count how many times people must have died, literally.
Yeah.
Whatever that's called. Yeah, these people died like 10 times over before the end fight.
Yes.
And then 10 times within the end fight, probably.
Yeah.
Specifically, Ben.
Who's Ben?
He's dead. He's just...
the bad guy. Yeah, well, he literally dies, so yeah.
Yeah, but he dies like 5 times.
Yeah.
He should have at least. The way he flew, like, you don't survive that.
No.
But then having those gruesome fight scenes with, like, so many stabbings and just blood and just crushing of things and... There's backs being broken multiple times, it feels like.
Yeah.
Like, how? Why make it so violent?
Well, like I said, that is...
like you said, yeah, it has to do with the original, but, like, come on, make it more realistic now.
Because the original, it has the same thing
the original's from...
Where...
The 80s?
89.
89, yeah.
He has the same thing where he has like a troubled past where he his rage got too big and he killed someone, so now he's trying to be like Zen. He's very like, he does all the, he does yoga and everything. He's very Zen monk more than just the quiet guy in the original, which I love that. Because it makes it more fun. It's more, memeable. But then, gradually as things, progressively get worse, that rage awakens, and in the end, spoilers, I suppose, he kills a guy.
No shit.
And the love interest is like, oh my god, I never thought you would do that, and she kind of abandons him, and he just goes full,
like in this one.
He just goes full rage mode, like, fuck this! Just, yeah. And then, unlike in this one, though, fuck it, whatever, it's not spoilers, they do reconcile in the end. Because once again, the rest of the community are more involved in the ending of the movie than they are in this one. So I like that part. Here, just like he leaves, but he left some money, so everything's fine.
I gotta ask about the money, because the money, he puts that on the boat that the policeman is going away with,
what it looks
and he
like,
lets
but he says he
drive right out into like the Florida swamps, basically. Huh?
No, because that's what we...
How and when did he make
it
appear in the bookshop?
Listen. When he plants the body and smacks the cop in the head, and then we see him put the boat out to sea, we don't actually see him put the money on the boat.
No, but we see a box on the boat.
Where?
There's a big black box on the boat.
Really?
I noticed it, but maybe it's something else then.
I think you were just making that up in your head, Rebecca.
Possibly.
Because I didn't see it.
I thought I saw a big black box on the boat. big black box on the boat. Say that 10 times fast.
How do I search for the movie? Roadhouse.
Search for Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
And you can even probably press it from IMDb, dumbass. Yeah, literally, you can push from...
There.
Oh, shut up.
He looks at the money and goes, huh? And then cut to the boat leaving. There's no... Where's the box?
Okay, fine. Then I imagined it.
Yeah, because that's what they want you to think. That, he let the money just go because he don't care about money. And then when he goes out there to the boat, he says, oh, I hid it. I have it hidden. Like, I'll go get it for you. But then he fights them off instead because he's bullshitting. Because we know he put it on the boat. But no, he did hide it. And then at some point, he put the money in the bookshop. He might have done that as he was leaving.
Sure.
It's a bit of a plot hole,
I
yes.
guess.
But the money's not on that boat.
Oh, fine.
Anyway.
Oh, no. You know what I saw? It's a fucking motor.
Oh, you mean the engine that propels the boat? Yeah. Yeah, sure.
It's an outboard and... utomborder? How do you say that in English?
Outboard.
Outboarder?
Yeah, outboard.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
I guess that was what I saw. Fine. Mystery solved.
Yeah, it's misdirection. I mean, you were supposed to think the money... I thought the money was
obviously.
on that boat. But then, when you look, it's not actually there. So it's not out of the realm of, reality that the money could appear in the
I guess
bookshop.
not.
And then I just want to mention, honestly, because I think we're going to wrap this up. We've been talking about this for too long.
Yes.
Yes. All the music, that's also another thing that I think... it was one of those things they wanted to keep from the original. The original has one band though, and they have a real. I mean, this from what I understand, they chose local bands as well, but they had a real band. They had the Jeff Healey band, I think they're called, yeah. And Jeff Healey kind of has a role in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Where he knows.
Here they just picked a bunch of random local bands.
He knows Dalton because they worked in the same bars before. And he's like, so what's it like here? No, they don't call him Jeff, they call him something else, but whatever, Jeff Healey. He's like, oh, this is a bad one. Remember San Diego? This is 10 times worse. Basically, that's what, he's there to explain.
Sure.
And then he turns up here and there in the movie and plays music. But he plays a lot of Jeff Healey songs, which is really cool, rock-infused blues. And also... he plays a lap steel because he's blind. That's his whole thing. He plays guitar, but he's blind. So I don't know if you remember. Our dad was a big fan of Jeff Healey.
Our father.
No, our dad. He's not a father. He's a dad. I don't use father. Anyway,
no, I was kidding. You sounded you were about to say it.
At least when I was a kid, he played a lot of Jeff Healey. Maybe that was you were too young to remember it, but so I've always had a thing for Jeff Healey, so it was fun to see him in the original.
Only music I remember Dad playing was "I Like This Bar."
Yeah, that was a little later. You get into Toby Keith, or that song by Toby Keith, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was missing there, the kind of identity with the band that was always the same. And here was a bunch of different bands.
I liked this though. It was
good
nice
music. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it was really nice music, and I appreciated the variety of the artists.
Sure.
It felt a little bit unrealistic though, because they're probably not getting a lot of pay.
Yeah,
for
why
that
would they play in
gig.
that place?
Exactly.
Ugh.
Unless they're all supportive of this whole we want this place to stay. We don't want to sell off the entire coast.
There was.
Which
that
plot came way too late.
Yes, that's also a much bigger thing in the original.
Sure, he's trying to figure it out throughout this movie, but the explanation comes way too late.
And it doesn't really have the impact it should have had. Yeah.
You don't get the whole community fighting for their hometown feeling.
Which that is a big part of the original. And it's also because this takes place from what I suppose is over a pretty short amount of time. We don't really see the bar become better or more, Sure. There's more people in towards the end of the movie, but I don't really see any difference. In the original, it really it goes legit, even though it's kind of weirdly turns into like a chain restaurant, which is like kind of loses its soul. But besides that, you see how it gradually becomes more of a reputable, respectable place.
Sure. Yeah, I think we get to see that a little bit. It's subtle here, but yeah, there's more patrons coming in, and then you have like
in the end, it's like, hey, is this place
less
open?
Fights actually. Yeah,
there's a car in the
less
bar.
Fighting. There's less fighting, and you have the bartenders and the people actually working there being more confident in their own abilities. Sure. That's the way they show it, but it's very subtle.
No.
And yeah, sure,
almost non-existent.
Hey, is this bar open? It's kind of weird though when Conor McGregor's character walks in the first time and he starts smashing up the bar. Because before that, we've had this whole this is becoming a nice place. No one's really fighting. No. Then he just starts fighting one guy, and someone screams out, "Bar fight!"
Yeah,
and everyone's fighting. Yeah. Someone's up in the fucking rafters with the canoe or whatever it is.
I know.
Hell, I'm sorry. Someone's hanging from like a beam of some sort, like kicking people. So that's weird how that escalated so
That should have come earlier in the movie.
Yes.
That's what I mean. The pacing, the editing, everything is off.
It's a little bit...
It feels like, since this was a project they were trying to get off the ground for 10 years, at this point they were just like, whatever, let's just do it.
Yeah, whatever, just finish this up now.
Yeah. And it's also like,
hey, I still
that's a nice like insight into Hollywood. How fucking hard can it be if you have to remake Roadhouse? How hard can it be? How can it take 10 years to make this? Like, what are the hurdles?
And they probably didn't spend 10 years on actually writing.
No, of course they didn't actually spend that much time. But like, what was it that made them stop at some point? Like, what
was turning out to this? And then just went, we can't fix it. Fuck it, we'll release this.
If they have an idea in 2013, like, we want to remake Roadhouse, we want to cash in on that IP. I mean, in 2015, you should release that movie. It shouldn't take 10 years. Like, what is happening?
Also, I mean, it kind of looks like a 2015 movie.
I guess a little bit,
It has this 2010-ish vibes to it. I don't know.
Anyway,
whatever.
That's going to have to
be
it. We've been talking too long.
Ending here. Hey, it's a fine movie. It's not good film. It's a fine movie. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. As much as we talked about the bad stuff here, ultimately,
it's enjoyable.
It's fine.
If you don't overanalyze and look at the details like we do,
I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Just enjoy the ride.
But I mean, yeah. To be perfectly honest, like it's not great.
They're better movies.
Yeah, definitely. Check out the original. Hey, check out the John Wick movies.
Fast and Furious.
Check out Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious. Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. Like we said in the opening here, if you want more Spoilercast, and if you wanted to hear us talk about the original Roadhouse, check us out on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. But other than that, we'll see you in the next episode. And until then, have a good one. Bye. The Spoilercast is part of Please Don't Make a Scene. It is produced and directed by Tobias Vedén and hosted by Tobias and Rebecca Vedén. Executive producer is Annika Vedén. I also want to give a huge shout out to all our patrons over on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. Mom, Dad, Christopher Belén, Daniel Del Gaiso, Mac and Mom, Laura Kinney, CK85.